and available right now. Everlast, Whitey Ford, House of Pain. You.
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
How are you doing, man?
Good to see you, brother.
It's good to see you again. Been a minute.
You going to Vegas this weekend for the fights?
Yeah, man. We got a little party the night before. We're doing a little show at the Brooklyn Bowl with my buddy Evidence and a crew cycle
no headphones?
around.
You don't want to wear headphones?
Oh, I will put the headphones on.
I feel like I'm alone here with the headphones on.
There we go.
Here we go.
Now we're on the same team.
Now we're locked in. Is this out? This is out, right?
Yeah, it came out about 3 weeks ago, something like that, maybe a month.
Beautiful.
I've been in Europe for the whole month, just touring. So
this is like everything. Everlast presents Whitey Ford's House of Pain.
yeah, it's it's everything in the toolbox I brought to this record. So that's kind of where the title came from. Just it's been 8 years since my last real studio album. So I figured, hey, maybe this could be the last one. I hope not, but
What?
just like my story. It's like with the family. I
Right.
dedicate a lot more of my time to the family than I used.
Yeah.
Just because of some of the extra issues we deal with, which everything is wonderful and great now. And dude, I'm 30 pounds lighter than the last time I was here.
How'd you do that?
Honestly, it started here because I purposely came here that day. It was the first time, if you remember, it was a while ago. I hadn't even done 1,000 podcasts since that day. But it was the first time I had come out and they started talking about anything like, that was going on in my life in the public way. Mm-hmm. And, I got a lot off my chest that day. And I also planned that day to put myself in a position to hold myself accountable by stating I don't feel good about the way I look right now. And I reached out theoretically for help, and I got an incredible response from the podcast audience and my own fans. I mean, I got offered from everybody everywhere how to do this, that, and the other. Didn't really need that because within my own circle, some people stepped up. And I also did it to hold myself accountable, to put it in the universe. Like I've thrown it out there now.
Right.
Like I put it up there on the wall and
Yep.
and stamped it and said, here's what I want out of life right now. And, there's nobody stopping me but me. And sometimes some of the things I used to get on and see you talking about, I'm not letting this inner bitch kick my ass today. And I just started taking things like that to heart, And
So
again,
how did you change? What did you do different?
We started talking about it last time. Therapy, it's helped a lot for me because of this, the added pressures our family faces with my oldest daughter having cystic fibrosis. It just, for a long time, it was just learning how to live life with it. And that got heavy. There was some real dark, heavy moments, scary moments for her in the hospital, So as a human, you have this baby and you're just trying to figure out how to not screw it up with a normal health situation. This is this added thing. So it took a long time for me to come to terms. At first, I got really angry. I got into some real, Lieutenant Dan, War with God kind of stuff, at the top of the sailboat flip, I was there all the way, and it got to a point where I almost got locked up for trying to fight a cop that was, trying to just talk to me about something. I just lost I had so much anger over so much that I wasn't dealing with, and then I found a guy that just really got me, therapist, and it began the ball rolling of understanding how to cope with a lot of that stuff.
Wow. So, as far as first of all, you look really good.
Thank you, man.
Your face looks great. Your skin looks good.
I'm taking a lot better care of myself.
It looks like it.
Thank you.
What are you doing different as far as how you eat, or?
Just eating cleaner, just trying not to, to be more aware of what's in the food and what's in the meat and stuff. I'm still part of the whole commercial meat system, though I long to get it to a situation where I'm hunting and doing things like that. It's just...
We had talked about that for a while.
Yeah,
you wanted to try hunting pigs at Tajon Ranch,
Well,
right?
I asked you what would be the best, starting point, and you were like, they got boar up there at El Tajon, and I know some guys, and I actually contacted them, and I just, again, this
You're
life...
so busy.
It's not just this. It's the added stress of I have a wife that when I go on the road, she's the sole handler of these problems, what I mean? And so that these things, pile on you, guilt and this, stress and all this, and so it's just between that and when I'm home, I just invest myself. I want to be home. I want to do as much as I can to lift that weight. Right. So I get caught up by all the things I want to do, I can't do all the time, what I mean? But it started again. Now I'm taking care of myself. I'm actually about to start jujitsu again, which
Really?
because I forever I was so goddamn fat in the middle. Hip escapes were I was hurting my back or my neck every other time I tried to do it. I just quit.
Right.
because it was getting, you know, what I mean, I wasn't super advanced. I was probably pretty close to getting a blue belt. You know, I was about a year in on like 4 lessons a week with just the private. You know, I was with Marcus Venices at Beverly Hills Jiu-Jitsu for a while. So now I'm just looking to see what I want to do. You know, I've talked to Eddie a few times. I'm talking to a few other guys. Kron has thrown some advice my way.
Doing any exercise at all besides that?
Cardio, not much weights or anything like that. Just, you know, keeping it moving. I
good to
2 hours on stage a night.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good to do something first. I feel like I always tell people, like, jiu-jitsu is so grueling that I think of why. I mean, you could just jump in and you will get in shape through jiu-jitsu, but a good thing to do is like find a place that teaches you kettlebells and take some kettlebell classes and just get your body strong enough that it can.
Well,
do
I remember
that
one of the
without
things
getting hurt.
Marcus used to do. Marcus used to run me around the gym for 30 minutes before we could even start a lesson. Like, I literally had to puke for the first like month.
Yeah, that's that old school way. A lot of
And
those,
then it would take so long that he would be like, all right, you're past the puking thing. You've ran enough. You know what I mean? But it was like, at first, I would like literally be run till I was puking. And then the crazy part about it is 15 minutes after you felt great, like when you were doing the lesson. So it all worked.
Yeah, those the old school guys. That's how they used to do it. They used to like all the old school Carlson Gracie classes. You'd have a grueling physical workout first: hip escapes, push-ups, sit-ups, bodyweight squats, all this different stuff. There's a good thought process behind that. Not just that it gets you in shape, but also that you learn how to do jiu-jitsu when you're tired. So that you learn how to just use technique and not use like physical strength.
You almost have no choice but to relax.
Yeah. There's people that disagree with that though. They think you should learn technique when you're fresh and it like sits in better. But it's just two different schools of thought. You know, I don't think either one is right. It's definitely good to understand what it's like to be tired and how to train and how to push yourself when you're tired.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it. Like, I just started talking about about 2 weeks ago, really getting back into it.
Well, that's a lot of weight to lose, man. That's a big accomplishment.
I got 15 to go to really hit my goal.
Yeah.
I want to be 225.
225 is a good weight, yeah. Are you taking vitamins or supplements or anything along those lines?
Like a daily, but I have restrictions because I take blood thinners and stuff because of this titanium heart valve I have. So I have to have a vitamin that's devoid of vitamin K because that's what makes your blood clot. So I like a lot of things, like a lot of the juicing things and like things like that. When you want to go on a juice cleanse, I can't do it because it's like a lot of it's kale based. And like kale is heavy green it's high in vitamin K. It'll totally like screw up my blood chemistry with, because I'm going the other direction with blood thinners.
Jesus Christ.
I have to, otherwise like a clock could stick to that titanium valve, break off and wind up in my brain. You know what I mean?
Jesus.
And then I'm stroked out. And that's the last thing we need.
Fuck. Yeah, I remember when you put the microphone up to your heart and you can hear that.
Yeah, I'm so like when I'm in here, I keep feeling like you can hear it anyways, like all through this. I hear it. It's white noise to me. If I want to hear it, I can hear it. I can take my pulse like this just by telling you.
Wow.
2, 3.
You can feel it?
Yeah, I can hear it in my own skull.
Wow.
Like I can hear it in my bones. I can hear it. It's in me.
How long is that good for?
Forever.
Forever?
As long as I take care of myself. I mean, it's been 20 years, literally, in 2018. It happened in 98.
Wow.
And I just get, as long as I keep the blood thinners going and I get checked, 2 times, 3 times a year,
And then the blood thinners are because if you got a clot, it would somehow or another get stuck in that valve?
A clot could it's a titanium valve, so the clot could actually form on it. The metal, like if the blood's too sticky and has too much clot, it could stick to the valve, then break off and then wind up in your brain.
Whoa.
So.
But
to avoid blood clots in general, yes.
Right. What's the difference between that and a regular valve? What would happen to the regular valve?
Well, the other choice would have been a pig valve, and those are good for about 15 years.
So
like
they
usually
had to open you up again.
Yeah. I would have had to have it done.
round 2.
I'd probably be due. Yeah, I'd probably right now due. Like I'd be like, yo, here I go. Yeah. They do that for older people is what they do. Like when you get into your 60s, they'll really explore that because
pig valve.
They don't think you're going to be around 50 more years.
Right. They just say, well, here, just for now.
Yeah. So it's called a St. Jude's artificial valve. Yeah.
Powerful medical technology. Eddie Bravo's got a titanium disc in his back now.
Yeah, he just had a surgery. That's right.
Yeah, his back moves around great. He was fully compressed where there was like nothing left. It was basically bone on bone. He was in pain all the time. and they just open them up and put a fake valve in there.
That's crazy.
Or
man.
a fake disc rather in there, but it's articulating, so it like moves around like a regular disc. Like it's not like he's fused. You know, have you ever seen people that are all fused?
Yeah, they get the fuse. I have a friend that got that done.
Yeah, they're super stiff.
Yeah.
Like wherever it is basically locked down. There's no movement to it anymore. But Eddie's is actually, it moves like a real disc.
Yeah, the shit that's going to be coming down the pipeline is going to be crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, I know people with fake everything. I know people with fake hips and fake knees and fake butts.
Fake heart valves.
Fake heart valves, yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean,